Hello, back again. I don't know if I'm gonna add this part, to be honest. But what's up? Hello. Been a while. A bit of a while, like a month. I mean, that's not a lot, but I guess. But let's get right into it. So, today, I'm gonna be ranking every weapon as objectively as I can with different forms of point systems. So, for example, infusible weapons will get us a scaling slash potential rating of 2.5, and my scalings will be noted on bonus points, high scalings. So some other bonus points are rewarded from based on this criteria. Bonus points are awarded. It's like 1 point for each innate status effect, 1 point or more for superior move sets, 2 points for each superior and incredible change. Incredible's a bit much. DPS mentions as well. Sometimes I might actually add 3 points, for example. 1 point for being notably superior to other infusable weapons. 2 points less for being notably inferior. Maybe 1 point less. 1 point actually. I use 1 point less. 2 points is a bit much. And minus 5 points for being clearly unviable. There's only one case of this for the entire video, but yeah. So some special cases as well. We have 1 point extra for dealing special damage type weapons, for example, the Starscourge Greatsword. 1.5 points for being a viable blocking weapon. So physical damage negation of 70 plus, which I will note for all great colossal weapons. They will get 1.5 plus points for everything, and 2 points for notable passives. But just take note, I did not include both types in catalysts, and because they are really dependent on your build to actually be good. But what do I mean by each of these? But anyways, so like for example, you have the I'm sorry, I'm running a blank. It's Y-hander. So damage type, scaling, reach, Ash of Warpool, viable playstyle, bonus points, which culminate in the final point of 17. So, on to the ranking. So we're very last, unsurprisingly, at 24th place is the flail. Actually, I did expect other weapons to get worse than it, but alas, this thing sucks. Really, like, not fun, not useful. Its damage type is fine. Its scaling is mid. Its reach not very high. Dash of Warpool is not great. You're not gonna have much playstyles that are fun with this, and it's clearly inferior to every other flail type. So it gets 9 points at 24th place. Your Chainlink Flail is not the clear inferior, so it gets 1 point more, but it's only 23rd place for this reason. At 22nd place, we have the Ivory Sickle. I don't want to mention it even more. And the Night Rider Flail. 24th place, we get the worst whip, which is the whip, and the Urumi whip, which are, well, the Urumi should be getting more points, but its damage type is just worse with slash instead of strike. Moving on to 20th place, we have the Celebrant Sickle. Rune Gain's the only thing that edges it out over the others. Now at 19th place, I will only really want to mention the things that I really find interesting. So, for the lowest, at 19th place, we find the lowest performing perfume, the lowest performing curved sword, and the lowest performing axe. Fire Spark, the Scimitar, and the Battle Axe. Actually, Scimitar, Falchion, Grossmaster go all rank the same, but they feel so much more inferior to the other weapons that I will be mentioning. Although you may have to argue with me on that if you want, maybe. Daggers really don't have that much. So now we move to 18th place. It's the lowest shield, the lowest dueling thrusting shield, which is dueling shield, 13.5 points, 2.5. It's like I don't like the Ash of War options, and your playstyle for it's not really that fun. 1.5 points for being able to block though. That's good. 13.5 points. That's enough. Now, to keep you interested before we get to the actually good stuff. Okay, here's the hammer. Worst hammer. Worst curved greatsword, and worst straight sword. The weathered, the flame blade, and the club great and curved club, which are really just blades that are clearly inferior to the better options. Now, running back to the spreadsheet, I will show you all the averages for all the weapon types. Of all the weapon types, your lowest average here will be the thrusting shields. Sorry, thrusting shields, you just get really bad. And your highest is most definitely the light great swords. There are only 3 of them, but they're all quite highly ranked. But I don't really want to reveal 3 of them, all 3, because I really would rather you see it yourself. Back to the ranking, we are 17th place. I didn't expect any of these to be so low on the list. 70 place is terrible. In the bottom 50. Earthseal Dagger, I really wanted it to go higher because of its really great flame art, but I tried so hard to find reasons for it to be higher. And I'm reading this for the first time too. So I'm just as surprised as you are that this thing happened. I wanted it to be higher because it's so viable, but alas, you got your worst damage type, your terrible range, your Ash of War options not being great. You have to be very, very agile, which means it's very difficult to play. All landing it at 14, only 14 points, I believe. 5, 6, 10, 12, and then +2 for the rest of daggers. Coated Sword's fine. Holy damage, eh. Albert's a great sword. I was thinking of using it once, but nah. Then we have the lowest claws. Oh boy. Hook claws. They're just inferior to Bloodhound's claws in every way. Only reason why it's here. So I should they take I mean, if you look at it though, it does get bonus points for bleed if you look at the main spreadsheet, because of the bonus that it gets for being a claw. Now, that's a lot to talk about in 16th place. You have the Carrion Thrusting Shield. Yikes. That's the reason why the thrusting shields are so low on the averages. Thrusting shield is not good. I mean, it's not good compared to most weapons. You use it as a shield. And then another perfume bottle. They're really just. I would have assumed the perfume bottles are the worst. If it hadn't been for Carrion Thrusting Shield. I thought I missed something in it, but I didn't. I didn't expect it. I missed something. Okay, there's 3 hammers. The great axe, the lowest great axe in the list, 14.5 points for being inferior slightly to the other great axes. Next, we move on to 15th place. Wow. Okay, the backhand blades, the Cirque and the Curse Blade Cirque. I give I forgot to mention this, but 2 points will be thrown, will be given to the thrown, give to those that actually can be thrown, which makes it very viable. This should be 1 point, really should be 1 point, but it's fine anyways. The shark, it's decent. Blood loss, dexterity, unique skill. It should be not really that great. But here we have the Mikkel and Knight sword. I know a lot of people like Mikkel and Knight sword. I'm also sad that it's in the bottom one. It's the bottom 100. It's so annoying. Its heavy attack is a fan favorite. Actually, I don't know if it's fan favorite. I don't know if you guys like it, but yeah, the Misericord. Yikes! This thing should have placed higher, and I gave it so much. So I gave it 2 points for being really high in the crit rate, but alas, it's not that great of a weapon otherwise. Not. It's a dagger, so. Oh, there's the worst colossal sword, the Troll's Golden Sword. Yeah, 15 points. It's not a good look. It's not a good look for it at all. For just rapier, not it's. I want all the thrusting swords. They're not too good for being a singular weapon. Shamshir, Shotel, Flowing Curved Sword, and Serpent Gods. You would expect these to also go higher just because of their their best special stuff, which is 1 point given. Dismounter gets just edges out of 15th place with its horseback boost, and then there's lots of axes that are all pretty decent in their own right. All of these hand axe R2, Iron Cleaver R2, hand axes R1, Island Axe, Raw Medallion, Sacrificial Axe, Ancestral, and then blah blah blah. Iron Spear and Spear. The Iron Spear and Spear should not have been this high. Oh no. We get the lance in this thing. The lance. I can't believe the lance ranked this low. Like, the lance was one of the weapons I used the most of. The most. And I still it's not the best weapon. It's just barely edging out the bottom 80. Okay, what I was looking for a while ago was Smith script dagger. Now I'm gonna show you the throwing blades. There's only one of them. So its average is 15.5. It's not the best, not the worst, but the thing is, I docked points for it, 5 points, because stance damage is terrible and the DPS is almost unviable under regular circumstances, which means if it actually had viable DPS, well, this is the only case where it's unviable. No joke. It's 20. That's looking at 20.5, which is giving you a lot of points. You make sure to hide. I'm gonna make sure to hide all the other stuff, so because like spoilers. Yeah. But back to the ranking again. We are now looking at the 14th placers. The Smith Script Dagger, the only throwing blade. The backhand blade, the best backhand blade. Really, the best thing they have to offer is this thing. And also the best thing the perfume bottles have to offer is the Deadly Poison pure perfume bottle. Both at 15 points, they're pretty decent, but they're not the best thing. I'd rather use a paired curved sword than the backhand blade, and I'd rather use other fast weapons like fists for the poison. The Black Knife, I also didn't expect this one. Destined Death, the Ash of War. I would have expected this to be at least in top 11 maybe. Oh, another favorite, Broadsword, bottom 88. Unlucky. There's just to mention, there's 325 of these weapons, so we're gonna have to go through a lot. The Watchdog's Great Sword, not bad, not good. Epitaph, just something there. Green Knot Night Sword, people like this. two base game. Um, piercing swords, cleaver. It's just bad because of the range, I guess. The black twin blades and the axe is not great. They weren't great. Only the great swords were ever an option. Of course, the hammers are low again. The great axe, those great axe. Oh, I accidentally went too far. Please make sure to edit that out, future me. Well, here's the scythes. The two main base game scythes. They were boosted by a lot, quite a bit. Oh wait, torch ball. It's so annoying that I got to rank torch ball the same as a scythe and a grave scythe. The only really real reason for it is because it doubles as a torch, so it's like really good for just regular things, regular exploration, compared to, well, yeah, it's pretty good for really decent for exploration, except it has charge for it. Eh. We have 13th place. After talking about 13th place, I feel like I need to discuss one more thing, a few more things. So here's the Red Bear's Claw. I'd expected this to be higher. It's 16 points at 13th place. Its range is just so bad, but it gets points for being a paired weapon and for being quite fast. Cut that out. But anyways, Red Bear's Claw. I never expected it to go so low. The longsword neither. The noble standard sword I expected it so much higher. But it's just not. These are not just not good enough. You know how good the higher weapons are, and you know what's getting high points for existing. But like, you see Red Bear's Claw. The only thing stopping it is the range, the unique skill, and its damage type. These three things, if they weren't as much of a problem, you're looking at a S tier weapon right here. But slash damage is just not as great in my opinion as other damage types. Which is also why the Scavs, the Bandit's Curved Sword, the Piston's Curved Sword, and Nox Flowing Sword are all in this spot right here. It's not great. Not great. Uchigatana. I think that's the lowest we have of the katanas, right? So talking about this weapon. There's a lot of stuff in 13th place. Uchigatana. Talking about this weapon, it's great, but it's not. It's to me, it's not good enough. There's other better options. Anyways, here's a black axe. and here's two of the twin blades. 16 points. So many stuff here. The Bastard Stars. This is your best representation of your flails. Best weapon of the flails. Rotten Great Axe. I think it's the only. Yeah, this is the only one in 13th place for the Rotten Great Axe. This is not that great. It's pretty good, but not that great. So here's the spears. Spears exist. Use them because they're fast, but that's it. Mesmer Soldier Spear. Piercing damage. The R2. It's all good if you add a good Ash of War. But because I'm not doing that, it's just not good. I don't want to do it. I just don't want. I mean, because I'm not doing it, because like it just becomes really unfair against the somber weapons because you can choose any Ash of War you want. So yeah, I already put large Ash of War pool as 2.5. Oh, I forgot what this one is. Okay, this is the halberds. The halberds here, poop brown color. These are the halberds. Didn't expect these to be as bad as they are. I mean, they're halberds, but they're the weak halberds. But yeah, here are the best whips. 16 actually. I think there's a whip better than this, but let's wait until we see that. There you go, a regular fist. I think I haven't fought. No, Cestus was there. Cestus, but this is your second worst fist. Venomous Fang. Bloodhound's Claws, and Raptor's Talons. I know Venom's Fang is OP, but I just can't bring myself to put it higher because it's just not a weapon for. It's just not the weapon. If you're, because like any weapon can be OP with a build. If you're with a super highly optimized build, with something like a default player first, like just a build you do for fun, this thing is not gonna be good. This is another reason why a lot of good weapons that you say are good, in quotes, are a lot of quote unquote good weapons, I mean, don't actually make it that high. Now I'm gonna go and on like a rant on the bonus points of the list. So we already know about Smith Script Daggers -5. Yuck. All paired weapons get 2 points extra. Dragon Wound. I actually made Dragon Wound more worth it to use. I mean, more. You think about it more. Dragon Wound. You think about it. It's more viable than Gravity, in my opinion. Hyper Armor, as well. That's Rakshasa's sword. Destined Death gets 2. Arcane with Base Bleed gets 2. Paired and Ash of War Ornamental Straight Sword, that's a 3. And then you get Boss Melter at 3. Now we have also being Gravity weapons and paired weapons as well. Gravity weapon and paired, they're both what you want. Like, having a paired weapon in Elden Ring is actually more important because you don't have to farm as much, you don't have to carry as much weight. Heal on hit is useful. Butchering knife. Yeah, but like that's it. Oh yeah, here's some of the three pointers. Other than Boss Melter, here is Pike with 3 points as the longest weapon. Serpent Hunter as 3 points for no requirements and being very good on the R2. The Knight Rider Glaive, 3 points for being the clear superior in DPS. And well, I feel like the Starfist, it's not even a question why this is that OP. So 3 bonus points. Now we're back to the ranking. I believe we're at 13th place, or about 13th place. We're about to enter 12th place. There we have Lord Storm Straight Sword. Everyone loves the Lord Storm Straight Sword. It's a crit weapon with piercing damage. Crit 110. These two have unique heavies, and this one has a pretty good unique skill, but it's not as great. Knight's Greatsword, Banished Knight's Greatsword. These are really good weapons, and the reason why they're not at the highest, they're not actually. No new player is gonna use these over things that are melting bosses. They're great for regular movesets, but other than that, there's not much else to it. The Magma Blade and Eclipse Shotel. I think people like the Magma Blade. I don't think people like the Eclipse Shotel. So looking at them both at the same time, not great. You got a lot of stuff. Axe of Godfrey. Remembrance. This is also Remembrance. Marcus Hammer. I'm gonna tell you how each Remembrance weapon ranks in a minute. But yeah, here's the best whip, 16.5 points. The Giant's Red Braid. Not even. Don't even question. It's good. It's good. Now, 11th place. We're almost at the top 10 rankings. Here at 17th place, the worst Great Katana is the base Great Katana. Now, I feel like it's very versatile. I didn't give it bonus points because no need. But it's very versatile. It's very reactionary. Large Ash of War pool. Its range is amazing. Is great. Great Katana. And its damage type Well, it's not the best, but yeah, there. The Claymore, Iron Greatsword, Sacred Relic Sword, and Lizard Greatsword. Everyone's gonna agree with me. These are pretty good. Like, especially, I would say, Iron. Actually, all of these are good. You can. I don't actually want to argue against this. But Zweihander and Greatsword. Some people might get angry that the Greatsword is ranked the same as Zweihander. But it's just about the move set. It's the same with Troll Knight Sword. I don't know why he's here. It's here. It should be having more stuff. It should have more. I mean, it should have more stuff to get to this point, but it doesn't. So it doesn't deserve it, but it's here anyways, because I tried to be as objective as I can. The sword lance. The sword lance. It's great. It's great. It's your only options for play cells. Not great, but other than that, great. It's your best infusible heavy thrusting sword. I think other than Quailings. I don't know if it's appeared here yet. Anyways, move on. Oh, one of the twin blades, Godskin Peeler, special heavy. CMX. Okay, just to make sure, CMX is the um the Crescent Moon axe. Okay, so that's, please don't be confused. It's nothing other than Crescent Moon. Virus Bouquet, surprised it got this high, especially because it's a hammer and it's Virus Bouquet in the end. The Great Horn, not surprising. The Gazing Finger and Shadow Sunfire, also not surprising. Crossing the Gunata, I didn't expect it to have the same points as Crystal and Clean Rot Spear. Really didn't know why. The Tree Spears, good. Banished Knight, I don't know much about Spirit Glaive, but I checked Scalings, Ash of War, Range, Spear, the damage type, and it's pretty versatile, but I don't think there's much else to it. There, Spike Cestus. It's clear the reason why Cestus ranks so low is because it has the superior Spike Cestus. Obsidian Lamina. This is Unspock's weapon, by the way, so just keep in mind. Now we're breaking the top 10. Exciting. Here's the Helfen Steeple, Moonrithil's Night Sword, Carrion Sorcery Sword. I like this one. This is easily the best heavy thrusting. I mean, easily the best thrusting sword. It's at plus. It's like great for spellcasting, and it's great for a 40 and 50 dex build. Just because when I used it, and I was wanting to place this lower because of what happened with my playthrough, but now that I think about it, it's actually really good. Rusted Anchor. No one expected it to rank this low because of its pierce damage, but I feel like it's the same. I feel like pierce damage is about as useful as standard and magic damage in 90% of situations. Maybe even worse. Fast Glaive. No one thought this thing would actually get past the Banished Knights, but I only edged out because of the minor passive. Bloodfiend's Arm. It's not as high as it would have been if it weren't for the patch. The Great Claw was always this mid 10%. It's in the top half though, which makes it good. The deck scaling just really makes it really important. And Klingbone and Cypher Pata should have been lower, but okay. 9th place. Now we're talking about more paired weapons. Most paired weapons end up here. A lot of paired weapons end up here. The Dorman Straight Sword, 18 points. Much higher than, it's really high because of its scaling. It's for the fact that it's a paired weapon, the unique skill. Same with the Eocade. Like the fact that it can actually use consecutive attacks easily is what got it here. Which is the same reason why Ordova's Greatsword got here. Consecutive attacks. And the Solitude Greatsword. Some people I know, they know who they are. They told me that the Greatsword Solitude should be ranked higher, and I kinda I don't know if I agree with it though, because like ninth place is pretty good anyways. It's it's not the best weapon in PVE. This is a PVE list majority, but like for being a weapon that's viable with block, that 1.5 points extra is just what it needs. Now grafted blade greatsword. No one likes that grafted blade greatsword is is this high, but to be honest, it's actually kind of decent. Plus 40 stats it will give it will make me give it extra points. Mogusugs, ancient meteoric or great sword, ultra great sword. Yeah, mouthful, but it's great. It's a one of the legendary armaments found in DLC. Then we have Bloody Hellas, Morgoth's Cursed Sword, my personal favorite weapon in the game. Nagakiba, everyone expected it to be higher than most others. Starline Sword, Sword of Night, they're pretty good DLC weapons. The Black Steel Twin Blade, amazing. It's just better than God's Impeller in every way. Now, we have these axes. They're pretty good. Death Knights is pretty good. Bonnie Knife is better, just an upgrade. Anyways, continuing any more, Great Horn Hammer, did not expect it to get the same level as Bonnie Knife. It goes to show what stance damage does. And Devonia's Hammer is not that great. Rotten Crystal, Swift Spear, Vike's War Spear, the Lucerne, the Vulgar Militia Saw, and Ripple Crescent. I feel like these halberds are undeserving of this place, except Lucerne. Lucerne's pretty great, but that's it. And then the last of the fists, Iron Ball. Yeah, 2 points for the OP roll R2. It's really the only reason why it's just slightly inferior to the Starfist, so it gets lower points than Starfist. There's in the Madding Hand, I gave it 1 point for Madness, even though it's a PvE list. Madness isn't even useful in PvE, but let's keep it there. And it's all 4 stats scalings is not too bad either. Okay, 8th place. Just kidding. I'm not getting into that just yet. I'm gonna actually no, I'll do that later. Dryleaf Arts begins our 8th place. Dryleaf Arts and the rest of the great katanas begin our 18.5. Rakshasa's Hyper Armor, Dryleaf Arts Stance Breaking Potential, Dragon Hunter's Dragon Wound, Ruin's Great Sword Charge Heavy, Black Blade with the Black Flame, Fire Knight's Great Sword with the amazing moveset, Onyx Swords with the Gravity, Magmorons with the R2, Bloodhound's Fang with the jump and bleed damage. Really, these... Oh yeah, Giant's Crusher. Extreme superiority. Clearly the best in its class. But it's clear that all of these weapons need... majority of the weapons now have to have a bonus in order to actually be viable and to actually be part of this part of the list. Like even Golem's Fist, since it gets bumped up a lot simply because it's a throwable weapon. Same with Claws of Night, which also do get very buffed with this. And we move on. Probably my most fair section, 7th, but like also the least favorite of some people, mainly because Pike and Smith Spear are ranked on the same level as Marai's Executioner Sword, Golem Halberd, and the Starfist. The Starfist should be better. Starfist got 3 points. Pike also got 3 points. So there's actually a lot at play here now. Commander Standard is one of those rare showings of pure superiority at 19 points without any bonus points. We move on to 6. Oh wait, I was confused a while ago. This is the better um, this is the better hand-to-hand art. Dane's footwork, Dane's footwork. It's great. Stance breaking potential is much better. Oh, Radon's swords. They're here. Oh, I accidentally revealed the fifth. Please ignore my mistake. I'm gonna edit that out anyway. But Moonveil, it's used to be the best, but it's not anymore. Hand of Millennia 2. I mean, Millennia's never the best, but it's really versatile, really good. And the Great Stars, Black Steel, Great Hammer, and Dragon Halberd. These are actually what I. These are actually what I some of the most agree. What some I agree with most. Speaking of Radon's swords, speaking of fair, that's terrible. That's a terrible transition. Okay, here's the Radon's swords. 3 points as well for being gravity weapon impaired. Speaking of Radon's sword, we enter the 5th place. Whoa, transition. We get Radon Lord's sword. I didn't expect it to get higher than Star Scourge, if I'm being honest. But here's my favorite weapon type. My favorite weapon type is the light great sword, simply because of its moveset. Very versatile. See, and then these things, they don't have any bonus points, right? So like, the fact that they don't have bonus points means that it's actually good on its own. So it's 20. They get 20 points. Why? Some people like. I should have mentioned this earlier, but different weapon classes get different bonus points. Like for example, the fists get +5 for being very very useful for their size. And yeah, last one's Blade, Darkmoon Greatsword, very very expected. Everyone expected these to rank really high. Not this low. I mean, not exactly this high. They probably wanted it to be more. But yeah, Euphoria, why here? But okay. Nightmare's Glaive, best halberd in the game. No question. It's just there. It's clear. I had even gave it cleared superior DPS and range. That's how much it's good and how good it is. Also, Poison Hand. Yeah, people know what it is. People know how good it is. A and Arcane is really really good. I really should be discussing these more, but I will discuss them later. I will discuss a bit of the placements later. Anyways, the Sacred Spears. Oh no, oh no. Okay, the Sacred Spears, Blood Fiends and Blood Fiends. These are actually great. These are actually good. Depending on what build you want, though, you are gonna want one over the other. Blood Fiends is better for more, or more, seems more arcane. I mean, more like. Actually, just use both. And then Spear of the Impaler, Mesmer's Spear. I mean, the fact that it's throwable just gives me the urge to put it here. 2 points. 2 points. Then we move on to the bronze medals of the ranking. We move on to the best one. The top 8. Top 8 weapons. And in rank 3, at 21 points, we have the Godseer's Greatsword. I will explain this. It has amazing range. Its unique skill is a Black Flame. It has R1 and Black Flame, which gives me 2 points. It promotes an aggressive playstyle. Its scaling is very, very good for any New Game Plus playthroughs, and it's very, very good damage type. And one thing no one expected in 3rd place, it's the Serpent Hunter Great Spear. No one. Well, I don't think anyone really expected this to be this high. Well, it's one of the other weapons that I gave 3 points to, simply because it had no requirements and its R2 was great. If I didn't count no requirements, it would still be in 5th place for giving us a great R2. Oh my goodness, I forgot to talk about Rivers of Blood. Rivers of Blood is up here. Yeah, still high. but not as high as it would have been. Next, we have the silver medals. Envoy's Longhorn. No. I mean, bit of a surprise. I don't think this boss melts as well. It might go in fourth if things change, but Bolt of Grand Sax definitely should be here. It deserves it. Deserves its position. It's clear that this thing is great. It's a throw. You can technically throw it. Clear superiority of the great spears. The range is some of the best. I mean, regular spears. Clearly, the one best range for all regular spears. Only downside is its scaling, or nothing else. But now, the moments you've been waiting for, the best four weapons in Elden Ring according to my kinda objective weapon ranking. The Twin Blades, the Sword of Night and Flame, the Golem's Halberd, and the Falling Star Beast Jaw. The Renault's Twin Blades and the Sword of Night and Flame both get to this place for the same reasons. Their damage types are very versatile. They have 4 scalings. The range is not much of different. The unique skill is great. Relana's Twin Blade is very spammable as a paired weapon, and Sonaf is a very good boss melter for its. I would call it a boss melter because of Night Stance. But these two, very big. They're very long. They're the longest weapons, some of the longest weapons of the game. Golem's Halberd both of these get pierce damage, by the way. So, and this thing gets strike and pierce damage at the same time. That's why it does not get strike and pierce damage. It stays in this position anyways. But you can use it very well. It's charge heavy. It's piercing damage. It's a 3-pointer in all regards. Anyways, for anyone who did want to see bonus points, how I gave bonus points to weapon types. Here is thrusting shields, hand-to-hand arts, throwing blades, backhand blades, perfume mortals, beast claws, light great swords, katanas, daggers, great swords, colossal swords, thrusting swords, heavy thrusting swords is down here. Curved great swords, katanas, twin blades, axes, great axes, hammer, flails, great hammers, colossal weapon, spear, great spear, halberds, reapers, whips, fists, and claws. Now we moved a little bit more, less of the ranking, but I will be ranking a bit, averages. But that's about it for the ranking. Click off if you want. I don't mind. But stay tuned if you do want to see more. They'd want to see the averages of each weapon type. Here it is, and here's the average points, and here's where it would place. Here you go. Thanks for watching. I didn't expect this to be the type of video I make next. And yeah. Thanks for watching. And I hope you can keep smiling. Thank you.